Hi everyone, welcome to my weekly episode of Show Me How It's Done. I'm your host, Lauren Rabonis with Lauren's Scraplot, and I am a Canadian demonstrator. In case you need anything, please reach out. I'm more than happy to help. You can purchase anything from the supply list on my website that's listed at the bottom, or I'm more than happy to answer any questions if you need clarification on a technique or a measurement. And I hope that you're enjoying my weekly editions of this series. So if you missed any of them, you can always go back and watch. But this week, I had to play one more time with the Sun Prince suite. So this has been one of my favorite suites from the 2022 to 2023 annual catalog. And I want to show you today how to create this card that I'm holding. Now, if you're looking in your catalog, you'll find this suite on page 90 and 91, and you can see it's just a gorgeous array of like blue and gray. There are also papers that you can bring in that coordinate in other colors, of course, like rich raspberry, Cajun craze, even shaded spruce. Those are all really nice sets to use in combination with the other paper that goes with this suite. So we're going to feature the Sun Prince Designer Series paper, as well as the Nature's Prints bundle. So I have my stamp set on hand, and of course there's some great coordinating dies that you'll see showing up on the project, including some of them that cut out great shapes and some of them that cut out nice labels. So hopefully, if you don't have this set already, you will fall in love with it because it is simply gorgeous. And the one other piece that I want to say that you might want to grab if you don't have it is the Fern embossing folder. So you can see Fern, they coordinate together, but you can of course use this in combination with a lot of our other sets as well. So if you'd like to follow along, I'm going to give you all the measurements and tell you what I'm using as we go, but I will also list everything in the description on the video. So if you need to come back later, I've got both a supply list of things that I'm mentioning as well as measurements for you to use. But if you're wanting to craft, let's do this. So you're going to start with a card base, and I'm using Smoky Slate. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and we're putting a little score mark in the middle here at 4 1/4. So folding that card base in half, we can begin. Okay, so now on the inside of my card is what I kind of like to start with. I always want to have something there for me to write on, and because this is kind of a fancier card, we're cutting two papers. So I have a piece of Night of Navy that is 4 by 5 1/4, and a piece of basic white 3 3/4 by 5. These two pieces are going to the inside of your card with some sort of flat adhesive. I like using the double-sided tape just because I'm a tape girl, and if you prefer, you can also use our Tombow liquid glue, or we have a nice seal roller. So whatever you're the most comfortable with, you just grab and have on hand. Okay, so my nice white is going to go right in the center of my navy piece. And just turning that over for the back. I just love the shades in this set, so I know I've done a card for you already with it, but I had to do another one. I'm not even going to promise that it's the last, but I'm going to promise it's the last for now. All right, close your card up and let's get going on some of the details on the front here. So this card has a lot of pieces to it. Pardon me. But it's well worth it, and it's a really nice card for somebody special in your life, or maybe you're going to a wedding this season. This is a really good card for that. So of course you wouldn't use the same sentiment, but there's lots of other ones in the set that you can use as well. I was fine a minute ago. Okay, the first piece that we need is a piece of Night of Navy. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and hopefully you can see I embossed it with the Fern embossing folder. We're barely seeing any of this. This is this piece in the back that's doing kind of a shadow look, but when you're up close, it really does make a difference to have a little bit of texture. So it is completely up to you. You don't have to do the embossing, but I really wanted to step this card up, so I did go ahead and emboss. I'm going to put this on with flat adhesive because the only thing that I want popping out of the card are all of my flowers and my decal there, okay? So put that on the back. We're gonna do a little bit of layering before we even get to our stamping. So here we go. Sticking. There. Okay, so next I need another piece of the Smoky Slate. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and this one is going right on top of that embossed blue piece. So. And I should mention, if you're watching live, feel free to say hello, make comments if you've used this set, or if there's something that you have, played with and want to share. But I'd love to hear from you. And of course, if you're watching the replay, that's wonderful. I realize noon isn't the ideal time for everyone, but it is kind of a fun lunch break activity. So there we go. There's the front. Now we need some designer series paper. So I just chose 3 random pieces from my Sun Prints package, and you're going to cut them in like 2 different sections like this. Okay, so you need 2 pieces that measure 1 1/4 by 3 1/2. Sorry, so let's say that again. 1 1/4 by 3 1/2. You can use either side of them. You just need 2 different ones. And then you need 1 piece that is 2 inches by 3 1/2. And this one, if you can tell, I did emboss with that fern folder once again because A, I wanted the ferns to really kind of shine on here and I didn't see them a lot in the back. And B, this blue was just a little kind of duller than the other 2, so I wanted to kind of bring it to life. So completely up to you what you do, and however you'd like to order them is also up to you. But my suggestion is lay them out on the card front so that you make sure that you've cut things properly and that you've spaced them properly, and then one at a time, go ahead and add your adhesive, okay? So whatever adhesive you choose is fine. I'm just gonna use the tape on the back here. And 1. And then 2 and 3. Moved my top one. I think I'll be okay. If you're worried, you can always fix things. Keep going. I just find the worst thing to do is to attach everything and then realize you've kind of been a little too generous or too stingy even with your spacing, and they kind of look disproportional. So I like to lay everything out before I even start, and then from there you can have some fun. Okay, so for the moment, you'll need to put this piece aside because you have a lot of stamping and cutting to do, okay? So if you own this Nature's Print set, you'll see there are so many beautiful things in here, and it's really hard to choose. So you've got your nice solid images that you could cut out. You've got some extra dies like these guys hiding in here, all sorts of goodies. So what I chose to cut for this is I stamped with Night of Navy on a piece of white and cut out this little branch. Then I decided to get playing with a bit of heat embossing. So I'm going to demonstrate that just on the tag for you, but I've gone ahead and done this already. So you have a little stock of kind of grasses and grains. So I white embossed powder on top of Night of Navy paper. and then white emboss powder on top of vellum. So I've got that see-through little flower. And then just with some of those random dies I pointed out, I did grab myself a couple of these little grass leaf branches because they're cute. So let me show you how to heat emboss. This is my tag that I also pointed out from the set. And I'm going to heat emboss using our white embossing powder. Okay, so the ink you will need for that is our nice sticky Versamark. And for this one, I decided, hey, let's switch up the sentiment. We're going to go best wishes and happy thoughts. And straight down on there. So you can't really see it a ton right now, but I'm going to grab my embossing powder, heat this up. So I have this little tray here, and you guys are going to be so excited to hear that there is a tray coming out in the new holiday catalog, which starts July 1st. So we'll be doing some projects featuring items from there over the next, 2 months for sure, but I'm going to give you some sneak peeks over the next 2 weeks. If you do not have a demonstrator, please reach out to me. I would love to get you a catalog. And of course, if you've ordered from me in the last year, you will be I automatically ordered one for you. So you can pick it up from me, or I will get it to you if you're not in Edmonton here. Okay, so there's my little sentiment. It's powdery. It's not gonna heat. It's not gonna hold right now. So that's why we need to grab our fancy schmancy heat tools and heat this up. Okay, so come closer, my friend. You won't be able to hear me, so I'm just gonna walk you through this first. I'm just gonna add heat to my tag so that instead of this powdered look, I will have something shiny and glossy. So I'm gonna do part of it and then I'll show it to you. Okay. Nope, not even enough. Hold on. I need to move over. Sorry, my cord is not reaching. There we go. Okay, this is what I would like to show you. So, if I can get this to focus. Maybe. Yes, there we go. Okay, do you see my W? It's nice and shiny and white. And then you see the rest of the word wishes. It's very dull and boring still. So that means I haven't heated that section enough. So I need to keep going, and I want to get it as shiny and melted as this one here. Oh, Catherine, I love it. I think everybody has their strengths, right? Like, I've been using double-sided tape forever, and if it's not your cup of tea, I totally respect that. It's funny because I am not as confident with the seal adhesive. I find I get it wrapped. It like rolls in on itself sometimes and I have to fix it, but to each their own. Okay, let's start assembling. You can start for this however you wish, but my suggestion is to start with this large flower feature. So we're going to grab some dimensionals because we definitely want to bring those in. I like the mini ones because I can just stick them on the back of some of these little petals here. You don't need many. So however you arrange this card is completely up to you. But I'm going to go with, on the left-hand side, just kind of mostly taking over this middle panel with a tiny bit sticking to the ones on the other side. Oh, and I love that you enjoy the sweet. Yay! Don't worry, if you like the suite, I can send you the links to the other 2, maybe 3 videos I did with it too. Okay, so here we go. We've got our little branch of grasses, and because they're going to rest on this this white branch, I didn't actually put any dimensionals down on the stem. I'm only putting them up here because that's the part that's going to rest on the card. Okay. And just keep in mind, you're going to cover this little section, so don't worry about any like overlap or whatever. Now would probably be a good time to go ahead and attach your little tag. So flip that over. And I didn't want extra dimensionals on top of these pieces, so I'm just going to put my dimensionals straight on top of the card. And I've just kind of lined this up underneath so that I know how far over the dimensionals are allowed to go. And then when I lift this, I can just gently, oh, my B was not done. Oops, guys, I did a boo-boo. I didn't do my B enough. Okay, hold on here. Must reapply embossing powder. Tisk, tisk, Lauren. Oh, this is not going to want to work. Okay, I may have to do damage control on that later. Don't think I have another sentiment. So let's just pretend I did a nice job of this, since I didn't right now, and I'm very sorry. Let's pretend, and we'll put that there. Okay, and I will fix that later. That's fine. Okay, here's my little flower. The nice thing is all I need to do is just lift that tag off and I can replace it. So my flower, because it's so delicate, it can just go on with a little glue dot here. I just kind of put the flower on top of the glue dot and then pull both of them off. And I just put that on the stem and it will tuck really nicely underneath. Now keep your glue dots handy because you have two of these little branches that we're going to use. I found I didn't need them that tall, so I am actually just going to rip off like the bottom section. You see there's like a couple leaves that you can rip off. Put a little glue dot on the bottom of that one as well. And then you can just tuck these. Oh, getting sticky. There we go. Tuck these in under some of those other images. So wherever you want it, it's up to you. I went ahead and I tore off the bottom of this one too, because I just need a tiny little bit. And then I wasn't fussing with it. That to stick in the side here. There. And then to decorate, it's completely up to you, but if you have any gems on hand, you could use some rhinestones. We have some really cute Opal Rounds, which I'm going to show you here. And so I just kind of add a couple along my project, however you'd like. Okay, so there's just a couple. And to cover up my ugly card, here we go. Here's another option for you. If you perhaps didn't want a navy tag, you can also use a Smoky Slate. And then on this one, you don't have to emboss. It's light enough you can stamp just in Night of Navy ink or black, and then you don't have to bring in the embossing. But I already had it out because I was using it for this feature too. So there's a couple color choices for you, and you could mix and match colors however you'd like, but it's just a really, really pretty suite, and I hope you guys like it. Let me see if I have the other cards on hand that I did a video for. Here's one. I know there is a couple other videos out there. Here's one video that I did. And so if you just go to Lauren's Scrapplot on YouTube and look through my Show Me How It's Done videos, you should be able to find this one as well. So using all the same paper and supplies, there's another idea for you, and there's for sure one other one hiding out there too. But thank you so much for joining me, Catherine and Kathy. Thanks for commenting and saying hi. And then I know lots of others are going to watch this later. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Next week, I will have a little sneak peek for you from the new holiday catalog. And I'm so excited to show it to you. And then, oh, I guess I have one more sneak peek for you. If you yeah, if you want to come out to club tonight, I have a monthly club that goes on the second Tuesday and second Wednesday of the month. I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek of what we're doing. So we're doing fun little card for the men in our lives and just a little maybe fun wedding or thinking of you cards. So those are the cards I'm doing this month. They are free with a $35 order. So if you can't make it out, but you do order online, you have a card kit on the way to you. I know there's a few of you, so I have mailed those out. I will see some of you tonight, and I'll see the rest of you next